Gramps was a rebel. Guess I am too, but in a different way. I'll explain later. In the early years, Gramps refused to fly to our Alaskan nesting grounds. Too crowded, he'd say. Instead, he chose Ridgefield, Washington. In 1965, Alaska's big earthquake hit. We lost some nesting and feeding grounds, diminished our entire population. Now, I'm thinking I'll diminish it by one more. But like I said, more about that later. That same year, they established the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge. Hawks, herons, great egrets, they all meet here. Come on, I'll show you. Once Gramps told me Mr. Clark, the guy from Lewis and Clark Expedition, couldn't sleep for all the commotion, called the noise horrid. Really, it's not always this loud. Today, just before dawn, Mom called it serene. By the way, I'm Honker. My full name's Dusky Canada Goose. Everyone calls me Honker. You can call me that too. Okay, if you'll just follow me. Over there's Harry. Some say his feathers look like hair. I'd rather call him Feathers. He has 3 toes, 2 of them close together. Still, he's a beauty with all those plumes. He's a great blue heron. You don't want to watch him eat, though. He'll spear a fish or snake and swallow it whole. Yuck! Once I actually saw him choke on a very fat fish. Oh, look, quick, watch him fly. His body stretches into one long line, like a pencil. Many ducks live here, like the crazy circling mallard and hen over there. Don't know why they circle like that. Here's some American coots. Notice their white bills are short. See the reddish-brown frontal shield by their noses? I especially like the clean touch of white on their wings. Coots' feet aren't webbed. Gramps wondered how they could swim. You do know our feet are webbed, don't you? It might be hard to tell a coot honk from mine. Well, I know this is rude, but their high-pitched squeak sounds like someone strangling them. Oh boy, look out, here comes the rain. You may want to pop open your umbrella. You don't have feathers. All right, it's eased a bit, so let's move on. Maybe you noticed the harmony here. Everyone cooperates and gives each other space. Well, most of the time that's true. See, those red-tailed hawks are bickering over food. They do that a lot. Still, I know a guy's got to eat. Speaking of eating, watch that coyote. His methods are different. Pounce, eat, pounce, eat. Each to his own. Hot dog, this is your lucky day. Glance over there and admire this awesome fella. Hermit, that's this guy, is a bald eagle. Muscular legs, powerful talons, and keen eyesight, too. Hermit will spot a salmon underwater and dive for it, sometimes as fast as 99 miles an hour. I'd give my longest tail feather to have his speed. Do you suppose he'd back me up when I go after Deen? Now, about my dilemma. See, I'm courting Dusky Canadian Carmine Carrie Goose. And I'm getting serious. She's beautiful. Hey, let me find her so you can have a look-see. Go on, we'll catch up. Don't miss the weasel-eyed beaver over there. He's the grumpy nutria with tiny ears and a ratty tail. Some folks like him anyway. Remember to take your time driving through the refuge. There's a heap to see. Coyotes, beavers, red-winged blackbirds. I'm back. Step over here and I'll point out Carmine Carrie. Be honest, isn't she the loveliest piece of bird feathers you've ever seen? Focus your eyes on her white chin strap. Hey, it gives me the shivers. I've got to make her my wife. But there's one problem. Carmine says Derek Deen's been flapping his wings her way, asking if she's ready to settle down. Well, I'll tell you, he can't have her. Uh-oh, see there? It's the old smarty pants himself playing follow the leader. Wish Gramps were here. He'd know how to handle him. Wow, focus on that crimson sky. The scenery here is amazing. Not to draw your attention away, but my mind's made up. I'm going to rough up Derek Deen. Nothing drastic, just stir his feathers a little. After all, he is weaseling in on my girl. If I made a racket, you won't tell Mom, will you? She'd hoot a wild honk if she caught me stirring up trouble. Thanks. Well, let's move along. There's the big shot now. This could get rough. Please stand back and cover your ear. Oh, glad that's over. I was prepared to battle. He would do some biting and wing hitting. Turns out he's a wimp. But I gave him a good tongue lashing. Good enough to send him scattering. Gramps would be proud. He'd say, "Good job, Honker." Dad'll say it too. For our honeymoon, I've reserved the nesting spot on top of the Beaver Lodge. Most prized location around. I suppose you already know, geese mate for life. Well, I better head for a bath and some sprucing up before I propose to Carmine Carrie. Come on back next year. I'll introduce you to our kids, the Dusky Canadian goslings of Carmine Carrie and Carson Campbell Goose. Honker to you. So long now, and enjoy the rest of your visit, friend.